Who's enjoyed that? Yeah? Tell me, why have you enjoyed it so much?
Because you get to taste it.
You get to taste it? OK. Ben, why else have you enjoyed it?
Because it's fun.
It's fun?
At Dalestith Primary School in Nottinghamshire, fun has been the key ingredient in transforming an underachieving school into an outstanding one.
Have we got it right? Right then, this is where the fun begins, because this is when our brains had to work when we were little boys. OK, right.
£5.
On arrival at the school 8 years ago, head teacher Paul Loker focused on raising the achievement levels in English and maths at the end of Key Stage 2 by over 30%. But it was then that he hit a stumbling block.
We worked very, very hard for 4 years. By that time, 94% of children were leaving Dalestorth with level 4 in maths, English and science. But it was about this time that the government started to bring in the CVA score. And actually the CVA score showed us up pretty poor again, because we were not tackling the issue of what did we do with the brighter children, how did we challenge people to really achieve and move on, achieve level 5 and really, really become successful students. And that was the challenge that we had to sit down and really, really address.
Faced with the reality of only 6% of pupils achieving level 5 in English and only 17% in maths back in 2005, the head decided to introduce a more creative curriculum. 2 years later, 76% of pupils achieved level 5 in both English and maths. As a result, their contextually value-added score increased by almost 4 points, placing them in the top 50 of schools nationally.
What do you think's left to do on the peppermint creams?
Get them in chocolate, put icing on them.
So what do I need to do with the chocolate?
Melt it.
How would the Victorians have done it? Yeah, over a stove. What am I going to use though? I'm going to cheat.
Use the microwave.
I'm going to use the microwave. Oh. Lovely, you permission now to lick your fingers and then wash your hands.
This lesson is typical of the creative approach.
When we were first thinking about introducing a creative curriculum, we felt that we needed to deliver it in a cross-curricular way, in a more thematic and creative way. We had children achieving high academic results and again couldn't make things, they couldn't think outside the box. They couldn't suggest anything that would take a degree of independent thought. And it was only by challenging them with opportunities that would develop their creativity that made them start beginning to think outside the box, to put 2 and 2 together and make more than 4.
All age groups are included within this thematic approach. For the Year 6s, several subjects are condensed into one lesson during their project on the Victorians.
Right guys, okay, you've made the peppermint cream, so now we're going to make the gift boxes to put your sweets inside, okay? So I want you to have a look at some of these 3D shapes and have a think, would these make good gift boxes?
Well, this is part of Victorian Christmas theme. We've basically been looking at how many traditions came from the Victorian times and what we still do now. So they've talked about what the Victorians would have for Christmas dinner, looked at differences between rich and poor. And now we've been talking also about the fact that they gave gifts and they made a lot of their own gifts. How do you create this from card? What's it called that you have to make? Rowan?
Net.
It's a net, well done, a net. Okay, so look at the cube. What can you see? What can you tell me about what the net's going to look at? What are all the faces?
Squares.
Squares. Would that work? Would that fold up to make the box?
No.
Why not? Amelia?
Because the one at the bottom that's the other side needs to be the other side.
The children are more interested in the work, they're proud of the work they do, gives them a purpose to learn something, whereas a standalone lesson on nets in maths, well today they're making nets for boxes for chocolates and they've had to measure it all and do all the problem solving themselves.
Can you see what's happened?
Yeah.
So how are you going to adjust it and make it work again?
You mark 7 there,
Right.
and then join that up and then like do it all again.
Yeah, that's it.
It's quite fun because normally now we're like start doing numeracy and working out questions, and then it's good to be doing something different.
Instead of just doing maths, you're getting like more arts in class into it and like learning more arts.
It's not just going to go on the wall and
Yeah.
we can actually do
You're not
something
just
good.
doing like times tables and everything.
I really like doing it because I struggle at my maths because I don't really like them, and because I just like making things.
I'm giving this to my sister and I don't know, and I think she'll enjoy it because she likes blue, that's why I picked that colour and everything. So, and I know she enjoys the baking and everything, so I think she might like me a bit more now.
Some people would think it's a risk. I've taught Year 6 for about 8 years now, and it's always sat. And yes, it's important. You want the children to do well. You want their levels of literacy and numeracy to be good. But I think we're just turning them off if we just wanting to go down the literacy and numeracy route as for their sakes. We've got to give them a purpose and make it enjoyable. So yes, you can do your literacy and numeracy. You think you can get your results up by doing this as well. I've actually had a lot more time to do other things through just really fine focus on the skills that they need.
The Year 4's theme, meanwhile, is of a different nature.
Okay, everybody. Welcome to our Scary Stories afternoon. Now, we've got a bit of help today with some scary people in the tent. I think you might recognise them. What they're going to do, they've been writing some scary sentences. So they're going to come out and they're going to read out their scary sentence. We're going to see who's the most scary.
When we planned our creative curriculum, we had to make sure we had coverage of all aspects. And one of the things that we've been working on as a school is writing. We need to really get our writing scores up. It's really harder to get the writing scores than it is the reading ones for some reason for us. So we've been thinking about our creative curriculum topics and trying to get in a little element of writing, but not making it like a literacy hour, but trying to make it fun and interactive.
Right, listen to this. Can anyone think of a sentence that they could put that in their scary story? What could it be? Write a sentence in your jotter. James, read yours out. And
Joe heard her scratching at the door.
She heard a scratching at the door. I love that because it's got suspense.
When we read through the national curriculum and you're looking at Target 2A about history, it can often seem quite dry, but when you sort of think about the theme of, say, the Romans or the Tudors and sort of think about how you could do it in a way that's fun, I think that's when you start to get the children interested in learning. As long as you've got an element as well of writing in there and artwork and ICT, and you can all link it together, that's where sort of like learning really comes alive.
He was looking for a box. He fell through the floorboards to the room below him.
Fantastic. You try really hard there to read it out nice and clearly, and you've got some really good elements to your story. You've used some good words, haven't you? You just didn't say went, and you said how things are getting closer and closer, and that's a well tried there.
You can't do everything all at once, and I think that's why it's taken us 6 years to get to the place we're at now. But when I look at my planning over the past few years, I've picked out the good bits of it, and I've tried to just adapt it and think, right, what could be a little bit of a creative link in that? I haven't thrown out absolutely everything because I think that would really lower standards. So I think you've got to keep all the good bits that you're doing already, but just try and look at it in a more sort of wafer that's going to embody things like excellence and enjoyment.
I like it more now because before I wasn't such a good writer, but now I've come up through the years, I've been a better writer. I think I like writing now because I'm more interested and I don't get bored as much as I did when I was younger. I'd like to be good at writing, so when I'm older I can get a good job.
I think fundamentally the success that school has had in contextually value-added scores has been a fundamental understanding of the progress throughout the school that children make. It isn't just success at Year 6, it's success further down the school, it's success at the end of Key Stage 1, it's the success at the end of Foundation Stage. It's shared vision and shared success and shared rewards.
The Year 3's, meanwhile, are putting their decision-making skills to the test by designing their own pizza recipes.
We need to make sure that we meet our success criteria for our pizza. What did we want our pizza to be like? When we did our plan, on the top we had some bullet points of what we want it to be like. Jack? It had to be healthy, that was one of them. Tasty. Healthy, tasty.
Oh, balanced what?
Balanced diet.
Yeah, a balanced diet. We had to work... There's another word though. Safely. The topic we're doing is staying healthy and staying safe, and I do a different topic each half term, so it's 5 weeks, and this was like the final project at the end of it all, after they've learned all the sciencey stuff, all the health and safety behind it, and the food technology. We're going to do first, what do we need? Let's go down the list then, what have we got?
750 grams of plain flour.
Okay, yeah.
25 grams white fat.
That's on the table, isn't it?
3/4 of pint of warm water.
Kettle's at the back of the classroom. They're supposed to be making a sandwich, but they've done that so many times throughout school, by the time they get to me, it's boring and doesn't really inspire them. Right, what's the next instruction then, Amber? Can you read it?
Roll out into circular shape.
As Key Stage 2, we sat and looked at the curriculum and looked at what people were then doing last year and what units we were doing, what QC we were using, who was covering which objectives, because obviously we don't want all to be doing the same thing. So we just sat and worked through as a team of who did what, and we split out the history up and who was doing what in the D&T, just so it all continues and they still progress through the years.
I'm chopping up my onions and my mushroom.
This is the pizza, and then that's pineapple and that's ham, and the tomato is in the middle and the ham's next.
Even though it's got cheese on, how come we can still call it healthy?
Because it's got other healthy stuff on it.
Like what? What are these? What food groups have we got? Where's your carbohydrate?
I know. The bread.
In the base. Patrick, let's have a look. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, have you added something to yours then?
Yeah.
Oh, a bit of an on-the-spot decision. Why was that?
That's pizza. A big fat pizza.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Oh, so you've tried some at home since we've done our lesson?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
In many ways, teachers have found it a real challenge. They have got to organise resources, they've got to plan lessons in a different way, they have got to go out into the playground and almost sell learning to the parents to say, yes, this is what we're doing, and now, for the sake of the children, will you come in and spend an afternoon, perhaps once a fortnight, with them, because what we're going to do is really, really important, and I won't be able to do that without your help. But I do think that they've got an extra sense of purpose to what they have done during the week.
No, let him get his hands in and mix it first.
Can I help? Oh, it's wicked. That helps. Massive. Disgusting.
I think beforehand, when my daughter was younger, it seemed to be that there was a certain set of rules to tackle certain problems and you didn't step outside those boundaries, whereas now they seem to be doing whatever it takes. At home, to get Bailey to do something, it's a struggle, it is a constant battle. Whereas at school, it's more fun. The teachers have no problems getting him to work at all. He wants to work. Whereas at home, all he thinks about is football and going out with his friends. But if it wasn't fun, they wouldn't have got him to work.
So they'll all be cooked and then they'll all cool down over lunchtime. Then this afternoon, what are we going to do before we take them home?
Eat them.